Rightio guys, let's do a little bit of metal conditioning today. I don't know why, I just felt like making a little video, so thought I'd just throw the camera on and do a raw vid. Yeah, so we've got this Nissan Patrol here, full respray, bare metal respray, and we're up to the metal conditioning stage. So yeah, what I like to do, I've tried this a few different ways. I tried it with a Scotch-Brite pad. That's what it said in the SOP, I guess you call it, like the standard operating procedure. They say that, yeah, you can do it with, I think they did say that you can do it with lint-free cloths as well, which is what I'm doing. So yeah, like I say, I did try it with Scotch-Brite pads, like red Scotch-Brite pads, but it just ended up getting really kind of messy because you have to put like a lot more of the product on, and yeah, it just, I don't know, I didn't like it. And what I've found with this stuff, if you don't get it off, like I've actually had to redo a panel or two before, because if you don't get all of this off, so this is the metal conditioner, you have to remove it with this here, which is the water cleaner, or else it kind of stays sticky, if that makes sense. So what I was doing previously is putting on lots of it, getting it really wet with the Scotch-Brite pads, but then having to remove it, having to put a lot more of the water cleaner on, but then that would just, it would sort of puddle up and yeah, make a bit of a mess. So I've just found that you're better off just doing it, like you might have just noticed, I sort of squeezed most of the liquid out of this cloth before I even did the wipe off stage. So still need a little bit in, like I didn't completely wring it out, but yeah, just get the bulk of it out. And then put it in again, and so I'm giving it like a double wipe off, and that should be okay. And then I do have a third microfiber, which is dry, clean, dry, obviously all clean microfiber cloths. Make sure we give it a quick go over those edges too, because you don't want that, it does sort of, like I say, it sort of stays sticky. But yeah, and then from there, so the booth is on, we've got the heat on in the booth, that's important too, because you don't want it to stay wet for too long, because obviously that water cleaner, like it is water cleaner, but if you left it on for too long, it can still rust. I know that from experience, because I've tried doing an entire roof by sorry, I tried doing an entire roof, sort of, instead of side by side, and yeah, by the time I got from one side to the other side did actually start rusting from that. It was only a very, very light layer of surface rust, but it was still present, it was still there. So you don't want to, yeah, you don't want to muck around. Once you get the water cleaner on, you do want to dry it off as quick as possible. Yeah, it's probably not my favorite metal conditioner, this one. SX520 is the product code there, if you want to know which one to avoid. Oops, that wasn't meant to happen. No, that's still pretty clean. Probably due for a new bucket anyway. It's good, yeah, good idea to keep that water cleaner clean. Yeah, so I used to wear my Bluetooth headset, like earmuffs, and well, last week they were kind of coming on through this weird signal, like sort of radio noise coming through one of the ears, and I'm just like, nah, I don't know. And then I saw this video on YouTube about Bluetooth potentially being bad, you know, being around you all the time, and I've sort of had that Bluetooth headset sort of on my head for the last, well, probably 2 years, non-stop, 8 hours a day. So I thought, you know what, it's probably time to give that a bit of a break for the old body, you know. So what does that mean? Maybe more raw videos, I don't know, we'll see. It is spring though, so the weather's starting to warm up. It's always happened. I've always sort of come out of my hibernation after winter. Always get yeah, just a bit in good spirits, I guess, when, you know, when the weather starts warming up. But yeah, I was just thinking before, it's so cool to have like an outlet and a group of people that sort of, a community, I guess we could call it, a community of people who sort of enjoy watching and, you know, partaking in the comments section and all that. Talking about you guys, of course. It's just awesome for me because I guess I would have to be the black sheep of the family, and I don't think it's really a fair label, but it is. I grew up here in Victoria, ultra left-wing family. They're so far left that they don't even realise, and I think as they've gotten further, I think I've retained some of the core values of leftivism, but I think they've abandoned them, you know. And I think a big part of that is like the internet has just broken so many people's brains. It's not funny. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So yeah, I guess my point is that like I can sometimes feel ostracized, you know. When your own family don't even take the time to sort of understand where you're coming from, you know, you can sort of feel a little bit isolated. But my point is, I've got you guys, so screw them. If they don't want to take the time to understand their own, you know, their own blood, screw them. I got you guys. Yeah, where I'm at it with like all that kind of stuff is politics and that. As long as you believe like the other person's not evil, like why not just take the time to understand where they're coming from? Like short of pure evil, which there is, like there are people that are pure evil that have like, you know, malice and hatred in their heart, which I don't have, and if I did, I reckon you guys would know it. People pick up on that shit, you know, like I'm not a nasty person, I don't have that nasty streak in me. So the way I see it is like, as long as you think that the other person is coming from a good place, then why don't you just take the time to understand why they think the way that they think, instead of just disagreeing with them on whatever it may be, and then getting angry and aggressive, or you know, just shutting the conversation down. Like I say, is if you think the other person actually is coming from a good place but just has a different perspective, why not understand why they're saying that? Because you might find some common ground, you know. Either way, that's just Gunman rambling and ranting on his Monday morning at work. Yeah, so one thing that, like, as I came into work this morning, I looked in the booth and I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I was doing. And you can't underestimate, like, understate the importance of like switching off on the weekend, right? So yeah, I have had my own business before, and like there's no switching off. There's no, oh, it's the weekend, I don't have to think about work anymore. Like anyone who has a business definitely knows that. And the other side of having a business is, if you don't give it your all, you're not going to get much out of it, you know. Yeah, that's what I think anyway. I guess especially in this trade, like, hey, there may be some kinds of businesses where you can just sit and forget them, but yeah, particularly in this trade, like if you're not, you know, doing at least a half day on the weekend, you're not really giving it your all. Yeah. Which one's which? That's that one. I felt a little bit sticky stuff on the edge there. That's what I was talking about earlier on. I know it's a bit of a random sort of a thing to be doing, but you know, it's all important stuff, guys. Yeah, every part of the trade is just as important. That's what I was sort of thinking over the weekend too. Like, the difference between a good painter and an average painter can be sometimes like the edges, you know, like getting the masking right. You know, a good painter will come in, let's just say somebody else masks this for me. I'll come in, I'll check those edges. Oh, there's a little bit of a chip there, I'll give that a scuff. They'll run their hands over the panel. They'll make sure there's not a dent, which there actually was in that panel. So I came in, you know, fixed it up first thing in the morning. Yeah, it's those little things that do make the difference. And I guess, yeah, that's just something that comes with experience. Yeah, like if you're sort of a less experienced painter, your mind's gonna be on applying the paint and getting the paint all right. Whereas to me, like my mindset, I'm set and forget. Like it's not really something I have to give much thought to, because I've just done it so many times. I'm sort of on autopilot when it comes to painting. You can just about do it with your eyes closed. I know the speed I need to go. I know the settings. I know how to apply the paint. It gets to the point where it really is quite easy. You know, the worst thing I'm ever going to get is a tiny little run or a build up around the door handle or something like that. You know, yeah, I don't have to worry about it not being covered, or yeah, getting big hangers the whole way through the door or something like that. Oh. You actually quite often get some comments, people say, man, I prefer this channel, like the raw channel, than the main channel, because yeah, no doubt you would get more. Like there's stuff that I'm just not thinking about when I'm sitting at home editing a video that does come to mind when I'm actually doing it. So I guess that's part of why some people do prefer this channel. See little bits of liquid caught up in those corners there. Make sure you get rid of all of that, and then that can sort of spray onto the panel. So you got to make sure you get rid of that as well, the stuff that's came back onto the panel. But yeah, like I say, 25 degrees heat in the booth, that's fine. Give it a good blow down, and from here it just gets a tack rag and then an epoxy primer. So we've got 2 primers that we have to put down. We've got an epoxy primer. Second time for the same tub there. Probably about due for a top up anyway. Yeah, we'll top that up. So yeah, we've got the epoxy primer and then a white wet on wet primer, but actually before that I do have to do some masking in the edges there. Which one was it? That's the deoxidine. Yeah, it's funny, like the music that you hear me listen to in there is it's called No Copyright Sounds. They got a YouTube channel. They're massive. Like, yeah, you would have heard heaps of it before, depending on the channels that you listen to. But yeah, you probably heard it on my channel too. But it's funny that, like, originally I just started listening to it just because I can, if you know what I mean. Like, it's royalty free, so you can monetize your video, but you know, still have it on in the background. And then I just got to the point I actually started really liking it. Like, yeah, I reckon it's actually quite good. Been listening to this guy on YouTube lately. If you're Aussie and you're sort of even just somewhat interested in the sort of housing market, which is kind of crazy at the moment, let's be real, you should check out this guy called Biko Constantinus. I think that's how you pronounce it, or Biko Constantin or something like that. Ooh, there's another little bit that I missed. Gotta make sure you see that. Make sure you get every little section of it. But yeah, like, he just goes on about the housing market and just the idiocy and just the stupidity of, you know, the government. And yeah, it's just, it's kind of crazy. Like, houses here in Australia are just so out of reach for, you know, the average everyday person. And it doesn't have to be that way. You know, it's just, it's all government. It can be fixed. You know, it's like, if some dude, you know, on the internet can come up with, you know, solutions to it, then why can't these governments that, you know, they take our taxpayer dollars and, you know, they're paid, it's their job. They'll obviously reasons, you know, but yeah, check his channel out if you're looking for some good new content and the housing market interests you. But yeah, like I'd like to think that the next generation, you know, the kids that are being born today would be able to own a house. But it just seems so far out of, you know, the realms of possibilities that that's ever going to happen. It's an elite, you know, it's getting to the point where only the ultra rich is going to be able to buy houses, and that, like, the government seems to be making it easier for people who own more houses to buy more houses instead of people that don't have houses to get into the market. And everything that they seem to try to do just seems to make it work. Anyway, ranting. But I know you guys love a good Gunman rant. Why else would you be subscribed to me? So again, what I'm going to do here, is that the right one? Is that the cleaner? No, that's the cleaner. Got to get those edges. I can just feel that they're just that little bit sticky. Let's just wipe it off again. Yeah, like I said, it's not my favorite water cleaner, but you got to use what you've got, don't you? That's better. I can feel it. The rag's just sliding across rather than getting stuck on it like it was before. That means done what I wanted it to do. Now underneath there was getting stuck a bit. But yeah, that's what I was saying before. Like all these little edges, like attention to detail like this, can potentially mean yeah, ruining your job, respraying your job, taking that extra couple of minutes that it takes to you know, get every single step done properly. So that's water cleaner. Yep. I can tell it's got a bit of a green tinge to it, the metal conditioner. And then these rags are done. Like, don't try reusing these rags, just turf that stuff when you're done with it. Even this one, I'll turf that too. The wipe off rag. Maybe use it to wipe a stick actually. Clean the bench down or something. But yeah, we don't even use normal cotton rags to wipe sticks down in the paint room anymore. We were having some real, oops, what's going on there? Sticking in my hand. Yeah, we were having some real dust issues at one point, and yeah, the rags that we were using, I shook them out and there was just lint and stuff all through them. So yeah, we just ditched them. Yeah, among many other things. I think I was saying that in another video, like, it's not, yeah, to get a clean job, there's not like one thing. There's no silver bullet. It's just a mixture of everything. You got to get it all right, you know. Having you clean, having the panel clean, having a clean environment, yeah, using the right rags, and even tack rags makes a massive difference. Yeah, it really does. We've recently got onto these Merca brand tack rags. They're really big. They open up really big. They're the same as the what is it, Colad. They're pretty much exactly the same as the Colad branded tack rags which I was using years ago. Spray Guns Direct sent them out. So if you can't find the Mercas, look for those Colad ones. Really good. Alright, so that's about it. Just checking those edges, making sure they're not sticky. They are a little bit. And yeah, next job's going to be do the false edge masking around the edges. So I was mentioning in another video that what you want to do is, especially with around those quarter panels, you want to get the primer onto one edge and then mask it into the next edge for the color so that you can't see that primer edge. But yeah, this video is probably getting a little bit too long for a raw video. I'll tell you what, I'm going to have to get a second camera, because this is the video file size. I might actually just have to start recording at a different resolution, because it's taken so long to upload these videos. But yeah guys, that's about it. Hopefully you did enjoy. Yeah, I'm going to start trying to do a video every second day on this channel, so yeah, keep an eye out for that. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already, but you probably are. Anyway, till next time, Gunman out.